Good morning. Welcome to La Chicala. I'm Patty. It is a nasty, dreary day. It is a sweats kind of day. It is a just enough makeup so I don't look dead on camera kind of day. I hope you're all having a good day. So tonight we are having leftovers. And when we have leftovers, I like to add something fresh and new. So I have 2 big heads of Escarole, and you can see they're absolutely filthy, so I'm going to spend the next half hour washing them and rinsing them and making sure they're absolutely clean, chopping them up, and then I'll come back and show you what we're doing with them. It's going to be escarole and beans in a tomato-based stock, soup, broth, sauce, whatever you want to call it. I will be dipping some Italian bread in it, and that is dinner for me. My husband can gorge on the leftovers if he so chooses. Before I go wash these, I do want to thank everyone. I was bombarded last night on all my social media platforms, mostly in private messages and through Facebook, for the recipe for the lemon crumb cake I posted yesterday. I gave the measurements in the video, but I guess people want to see it written out, and for my lemon curd recipe. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do that. We actually have 2 Facebook pages. One is a La Chicala Facebook page, which was for my catering business when I was up in New York. And the other one is a Brahma Soul page, which was affiliated with a blog I wrote many moons ago. I believe these videos actually show up on the Brahma Soul page. For some reason that's linked to Instagram or something like that. I don't exactly know because I didn't do it. But I'm thinking maybe the best thing to do, because TikTok does not give me space to write out a recipe. Some people don't like to screenshot. I'm thinking I might put it on one of the Facebook pages. Start printing out recipes there. Tell me what you think in the comments and I'll go from there. I've had many people suggest I go back to blogging, which I'm kind of thinking about. I do remember how much time it took, how much work it was, and I'm trying to figure out if I can work that in. But in the meantime, I do have the option of posting on those pages. So I'm gonna go wash this, chop it up. We have tomatoes, beans, crushed red peppers, garlic, onions, and olive oil, and I'll be back. All right, so first we're going to start with the sauce, or the base of the escarole. A few swirls of olive oil. I'm going to heat this up. Medium heat. And the first thing we're going to do is saute the onions and sliced garlic. I have 1 onion and probably 6 cloves of garlic here. They weren't overly large. This is 1 can of tomatoes, and I'm just going to crush them by hand. My hands are clean. I'm just going to give these a quick crush. I'm trying not to splash all over the place. Okay. I love escarole. I grew up on it. My grandmother made it all the time. I can't always find it here down south. Now, when you're cleaning the escarole, if you've been in the south, if you've ever had collards, you know what it's like to clean these greens. You have to rinse, dunk them in cold water, shake them out, and do it 3, 4, 5, 6 times till the water is clear. And then I took them out and I chopped them up, not little pieces, not tiny, but kind of maybe like in thirds, the big leaves, and in half with the little leaves. Okay, this should be good. I have a large pot of salted boiling water sitting here, because when the sauce is almost done, I'm going to put the escarole in, and that needs to boil, I'm going to say about 10 minutes until they're really cooked. Wash my hand off. Okay, so this is hot now, and we're going to throw in our onions and our garlic, and we're just going to let this saute till they're softened. It's a little high. Turn it down. So I'll be back in a few minutes when these are soft, and we'll proceed with the sauce and the escarole. Okay, so the onions are nice and soft, and the garlic. I'm going to take my tomatoes that I squished up over the peach so it doesn't splatter on me. Mix that in. And I'm going to throw in 2 cans of cannellini beans with their liquid. Now, if you want to cook your own beans, I didn't do it this time, you need to put a little bit of the water that the beans cooked in with this. Make sure they're nice and soft and tender, and throw a little bit of that water in there because you want this kind of soupy. If you want to make a soup out of this, add some chicken stock. I'm putting in a little bit of salt here. Some chicken stock to soup it up. And you can put in like a little pasta, like ditalini. Make an escarole and bean soup. Some pepper. Now my husband likes spice, so we are putting in a little bit of red pepper flakes. That's optional, you don't need to do that. Now, while this is simmering, yum yum, while this is simmering, I'm going to take my escarole and put it in the boiling water. And these are going to have to boil for probably about 10 minutes. So like any green, they're going to shrink down to nothing, or almost nothing. There we go. Make sure they're nice and clean. That's super important. Okay, beautiful. Love, love, love. Okay, we're gonna let those simmer for about 10 minutes till they're cooked. Then we'll transfer them into the sauce. And you got dinner or a side or something just delicious. This is Italian peasant comfort food at its finest. Awesome. So we'll see you in a few minutes when the escarole's done. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. So I am going to pull this over so I don't make too much of a mess. The sauce has been simmering, and I'm going to take the escarole and put it in the sauce. Now, a little bit of that listen to me, of the escarole water would be a good thing. It's just like making pasta. It doesn't need to be totally dry. So I'm going to transfer it over. This is going to be so good with some crusty Italian bread to dip in it. Oops, there we go. All the way over. You guys need to let me know what kind of foods you grew up with. My family was 100% Italian, and I always say I got the best of both worlds because my maternal grandparents were Northern, and my paternal grandparents were Sicilian. So I grew up on cuisines from the whole. There we go. Now, we're going to mix this up, put some in a bowl with a piece of crusty bread. And this is going to be so, so good on this cold, nasty, dreary, wet, wet day. It's pouring here. And I forgot to bring in the cushions for my outside furniture, so, oh well. They're gonna have to dry out. I'm kind of anal about bringing them in because I have this thing in my head about mold, but they are made for outside. Okay. Buon cibo, buon amici, good food, good friends, family. This is what it's all about. Come back and see us again. We are going to be doing a lot of special desserts, special meals. Tomorrow I'm doing a pulled pork and I'm going to put it on brioche rolls. So I haven't figured out yet if I can squeeze 2 videos in one day or just pick one of them. But let me know what you're thinking, and I will get back to those of you who messaged me. Just trying to figure out how to go about it. See you. Have a wonderful day. This is like a PS. I did forget to mention, this is the good stuff. This isn't the olive oil I usually cook with, but you can use whatever. Goes over the top when you give it a little drizzle of good olive oil. Let it soak in there and flavor. That's the way to do it. We'll see you soon.